People could have a variety of reasons when learning something. It could be for personal growth or career advancement. Whatever the reason may be, learning requires patience, discipline, and time. However, sometimes knowing what not to do is far more important than knowing what to do. That's why in today's video, we'll help you in identifying mistakes you make when learning something new. Welcome to Thrivetastic. If you're new here, why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? And as always guys, give this video a thumbs up for that YouTube algorithm. 1. Skipping the basics. Nothing exists that does not have a basic version of it. Everything is built on a solid foundation. Walking requires the basics of keeping upright and not falling on your ass most of the time. You're aware of what they are. However, most people make the mistake of looking at the foundation and saying, "That's easy, let's go on." Ask any world-class coach or high-performing athlete, and they'll tell you the same thing. Master the basics first. Even if they appear boring or obvious to you, or you might think that you already know them, and it would be just a waste of time to practice something so basic. And that is where the problem happened. You'll soon find yourself absolutely lost, as if you've skipped 8 chapters of a book and have no idea who's who. You try to retrace your steps to see what you missed, but you're already too far down. By skipping fundamentals, bad habits are formed. You learned something on the fly based on a vague idea. The only way to correct your mistakes is to essentially forget everything and start over. So master the fundamentals first. 2. Too much in one take. Maybe you've finally found something that piques your interest. You can't get enough of it. You can't recall the last time you were so enthralled by something. Maybe you found your calling and the search is finally over. It's a wonderful feeling, yet this is when another big mistake can occur. Soon you'll notice that your enthusiasm has waned. You couldn't stop watching videos about it yesterday, but now you don't want to hear about it. You need a break from it. A day, 2 days, a week passes, you tell yourself you'll get back to it sometime, but you never do. So, what is the mistake here? You have an information overload. Overtraining is a real issue. You can only handle so much information at once. You require the optimal amount of learning input before it becomes too much and causes you harm. Even if you eat your favorite food for 3 weeks straight, it will ultimately make you sick. We're sure you've all had this experience at some point in your lives. You got really interested in something and then life happened. So pace yourself every day. Do enough to feel like you've made progress, but leave enough for tomorrow to keep you motivated. 3. You don't put it into practice. It's very self-explanatory, but let's dig a little deeper. As an example, think about writing. We feel that writing is a deceptively valuable ability to have for anyone regardless of who they are or what they do. The ability to put your thoughts into words and connect with others is incredibly valuable. It also improves your ability to think effectively and organize your thoughts. Everyone should be able to write. So, how do you put that into practice? Well, in the case of writing, how about you start today by writing a short intro for your day? You see, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You just need to find a very basic and easy way to put things into practice. So how about it, guys? Are you up for the challenge? Why not practice now by writing your intro for the day in the comment section down below. 4. You don't have a good benchmark. So, how can you know if you're succeeding or failing? How can you know if you're learning the right things or even making any progress? For instance, drawing. Some people believe that they are incapable of drawing anything. They try to draw a horse and end up with a chair. I'm not sure how you get there, but it always happens. But suppose you decide you can learn to draw. And who knows, maybe you'll be a digital artist in a couple of years. What's a good benchmark? The paintings on the Sistine Chapel? It will be difficult to know if you're making any progress without a good benchmark. You lose motivation and eventually give up. Find achievable and slightly out of reach benchmarks. Multiple ones in a progression to give you something to strive for and to know what to work on next. 5. Your pace is too fast. When you learn the basics, you can go fast. You make the mistake of going too fast without thinking anything. You will only get surface level knowledge. Your learning will be superficial and you'll get overconfident. Before we go on with our list, I'd like to ask you guys, what among the mistakes we have mentioned so far you could relate to the most? Please share your answers in the comment section down below. 6. You look for shortcuts. Do you believe that there are life shortcuts? Surprisingly, the answer is yes. The issue is that you have to pay to earn them, and they only work later on. This is why businesses have advisors and individuals have mentors. These are people who have done the work several times and have a wealth of experience to bring to the table. Their knowledge and expertise accelerate the process, but it's only useful if you already have a foot in the door. Now, it's just a matter of getting the other foot in as quickly as possible. But there are no shortcuts when you're starting. You have to do the work yourself. 7. You don't go past the honeymoon. The end of the honeymoon period is the most important stage in your learning since it determines whether you exit or excel. When learning, things are exhilarating at first, and you feel a surge in your body. The honeymoon period then gradually fades away as time passes. You realize that things are more difficult than you anticipated. Maybe you're not cut out for this. Perhaps it isn't worth it after all. Then you reach a turning point. It is the most crucial stage of your learning process. Will you recover or give up? Most individuals give up because they can't look past the crisis point. So how do you get over it? Unfortunately, we don't have an appropriate answer. Everyone is unique. It's up to you to come up with your own reasoning. However, once you've escaped a crisis, you'll be able to realize your full potential. Runners refer to this feeling as the runner's high. Your legs are trembling and you're short of breath. It feels like taking one more step will literally shatter you. Yet if you can keep going, you'll discover energy reserves you never knew you had. 8. You can't accept you suck. For the majority of your early days, you will suck a lot and find it difficult to accept. It will appear that no matter how hard you strive, you're making little progress. Even after 100 pages, your writing will be terrible. Even after 100 paintings, your work will be mediocre. Your code will simply not work, and you will have no idea why. That is a normal part of progress. You just have to realize that everyone sucks at first, and that's okay. That is why you have attainable benchmarks. The more you work at it, the more you'll see small improvements. But you need to accept that you will suck at the start. 9. You don't keep your mistake. You don't want to look at your poor work because it's ugly, unpolished, and rough around the edges. Maybe you hurried it, maybe you did something incorrectly, maybe you just don't get it. So you delete everything and try again later. But that's a terrible mistake. There's a nice interview with John Mayer where he discusses how technology may sometimes stifle creativity. The concept is that you always erase your lousy work. You'll never have the opportunity to improve it. If you keep deleting version 1, you'll never get version 1.1. Remove backspace from your inventory when learning. You'll find it quite useful. Continuous iteration leads to progress, but you need something to iterate on the first place. This is possibly the most important piece of advice on this list. 10. You wait until it's ready. You will never know everything there is to know about anything. You'll never be 100% prepared, and your task will never be 100% completed. You'll have to convince yourself at some point that, okay, this is all I know so far. Let us ask for a second opinion. Feedback is good and all, but if you wait too long, you will merely lengthen the period and you do not improve. Before we wrap up today's video, here's an extra for you. You don't have a good reason to learn. This is the main reason why individuals do not pursue learning. They simply don't have a compelling motive. And there is no external answer for this. You must find your own reason and make it a compelling one. It should instill inspiration and motivation in you. Finding the proper motive for you will make learning 10 times easier. Thank you for watching this Thrivetastic video. So if you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this awesome Thrivetastic video for you to watch next.